Hi all. So welcome to another day on this JMeter training. And as a recap, so in sequence we are going right, and uh, we'll be talking from here. So now we'll start with like JMeter elements, their sub elements and attributes. So in this, we are going to cover what is left or which we have not used. Okay, till now. And in this, many importance are there which we have not used at all, and which helps in doing different scenarios. Okay. So we'll start with that. The first thing is test plan. Right. So in JMeter element, first thing that always comes is test plan, and test plan is everything actually. It's a root. It holds everything. Right. So it holds thread group, or like you can say everything. Everything or every element is inside test plan. All the elements are children of test plan. We know about this. That will always be on first whenever JMeter opens. So there is nothing to discuss much on this. There are some attributes, okay, of test plan. So few attributes like this user defined variable. So uh, I think we have all already used that in our script. Here. So this user defined variable, same thing. It's here also. So either you can use this as well, or you can use this as well, right? But why we use separately? So that it is easy to move. Suppose this all I want to move from this to another, so I can just cut or copy this element and paste it in another line. But almost same thing. Only difference, few sometimes difference can happen. Like sequencing will come in. Suppose the same thing is here, and we have used like we have used this as well, and we have given some inputs, or we need some inputs from here, and we have given here also. Now there will can be question that why these two I have not used here. Okay, because I just want this to be first loaded sequence, so this will be first priority, right? So that is the reason, so that this all gets loaded, and suppose this thing gets stored in this, and then we call that here, right? That variable, here, right? Inside this. So that time we can segregate. There are some other settings. These two are not important, but this, okay. So I think we know about that thread group. So we can talk about this later on also. But what is the meaning of this? Is like run tear down thread group. Tear down thread group is one of the thread groups, okay, which always executes in last. So we will be talking about that then. Get idea. So by default, a check mark will be there. Yeah. So it says that even all threads shutdowns, right? Then run that in the last compulsorily. Okay. So that the setting is. Then so we will understand about this after a while. This one you know that suppose this is in test suite case. So test suite means what? Two or three scenario running parallelly means at same time, right? But suppose you want to run one scenario at a time. So you can keep, suppose user registration, you are keeping first and product booking. And if you are putting a check mark, so they will run in sequence. Sequence means first that will run, then this will run, then another will run, then right. So sequence. And that is the meaning of consecutive run. And so that we can do, or generally is like parallelly we run. So running multiple scenario parallel is what that is normally we do like this. So this is related to that setting. Apart from that, next is non-test element. So in non-test element, the main element is HTTP TCP recorder. We have seen this in very detail. Then there is one plugin, okay, merge result. It helps in merging two GTL files. Means suppose we have two GTLs, two result file, and you want to merge them and make that one. And you want to generate HTML report from that, right? After merging two or three. So that time this plugin helps. One there is one more plugin called property display. It's not that of much of importance. Okay. Just show some, yeah, property display. Show some parameters taken by JMeter, like JMeter property or system property, like internal argument or parameter or JMeter text. That you can just see. Okay. So that is that is one to sell. Next is thread groups, thread and thread groups. In thread group, there are four thread group by default, and three are plugin. Plugin are more, but three are important. Okay. So four are by default, and three will be important as per the plugin. So this four, whenever we right click on thread groups, when we right click on test run, go to add and the plugins already we have installed. That's saving up. So see, three open thread setup and tear down. Now the main one is thread group. Okay. This is called the main one. Suppose anywhere you see like written as main, suppose you are saying main threads, main. So main means like this one. Main is thread. Now we have setup and tear down, and then we have this one newly introduced from version 5.1. Right. Hmm. Hmm. So yeah, so about thread group, you know everything. We have covered all attributes about this. And uh, done. Next is setup and tear down. So setup and tear down, why they are given? So understand, setup, tear down will be always executed before thread groups. Means whenever we say main means always main. Okay, this one will be treated as. Now before that you want to do something, so we can use setup thread group, and whatever the task you keep in that, that always execute first. Okay, and means now baseline is who? Who is baseline? Before means before whom, right? Question will be there, before whom. So before main thread, main thread. Same with tiered. So that is setup. Name setup. Tier down. It's down. So it will be always executed after. After whom? After main thread group finishes. So execute in last. Okay. We can add a multiple tier down setup, multiple main thread group in our test plan. Right. Now, example of this. So, example of this, right? So, see, we can add it as usual, like supposed to thread main scenarios, then one setup or two setups also, or two thread. Now, even if you keep like this, setup will always run first, then normal thread group will run in, and tear down will always run in. So, okay. So, for an example, understand here that we have suppose mm, for an example, two thread product booking, suppose, right? Writing reviews. So, how this will be, right? So, let us say it's kind of test group one, right? So, suppose product booking, all thing will keep inside. I have not kept, but think like that. Right? That all its necessary CSV file, all thing will be inside this, right? Then another suppose writing review scenario will be like. Then order cancellation, suppose will all those things related to that to keep inside that. Correct? Then user registration, suppose you keep in setup. So how when we can utilize this? Understand? Suppose there is main scenario means you are running product booking for the main. Now there are two things that happens. Understand? One is we run the multiple when there is multiple scenario, multiple. So there are two use cases. One is parallel and one is sequence. Sequence means one after another. So sequence is simple. Um, if you want to run anything in sequence, so this all concept of tear down setup not required. You can keep five scenarios, one after another, normal thread group only, and all the transaction and related elements, you can keep them. Now, whoever is there on first will run first, then second, then third, right? No need of this. Normal thread group only, the main one. Okay, you can keep in sequence and just here in test plan, this setting is done. Run thread group consecutively one at a time. So when you choose on that time all scenario, how you are have made the arrangement of order, they will run in sequence. Okay, that is simple. Now main thing is parallel. Now in parallel, suppose multiple scenario we have to run in parallel. So we have seen that we have prepared test suite and we know that how that is done. Okay, but in that also, suppose test suite you are running and you have added 3-4 scenarios, main thread groups. So when 3-4 scenarios are there, main thread group, and you are running in parallel, so all scenario will be executing at same time. That is what right, that is normal thing. Now in that also, suppose you want to run few scenario or one scenario in beginning, then 3-4 scenarios at a time, then one scenario in last. Okay, first, then this all in parallel. Suppose 3 scenario in parallel, then one scenario in last. So then how we'll do, right? So suppose you want to register the user, so that you want to do first. Then you want to do book the product, write the reviews, uh, write complaint, write complaint. Suppose 3 scenarios. This all you want to run in parallel. And then in last, cancellation, suppose. Cancellation of order, CF. Okay. Last. So here also multiple are there, but in that also there is a sequence, correct? That only first this will happen, then this 3 or 4, or let us say 3 only, they will run in parallel, and then in last cancel. Then how we will do, right? So that time you will bring this. So in setup, whatever that you want to run in first, all will keep inside setup, correct? This all normal one, they are called main. That will keep them as in main or normal. Suppose I have kept, and the last, suppose cancellation, you will keep inside tear down. Okay. Now, in the beauty of this is even their sequence. Just to show you, I have not kept them in sequence, but generally we should keep so that we had an idea. But I have not kept that to show you. Like, do you see first thread group 1, thread group 2, then we have tear down, then I have kept the step up in last. But even though when I run it, so you'll see a step up will always run first. Then this two will run. This one and this one will run. Okay. And when this one run is finished, then last in tear down will see. Setup is running, let us say. Some request of, suppose like setup scenario got executed, think like that. Then there is some gap. Now this two scenario will run parallel. Parallel they are running on. Thread group 1, thread group 2, thread group 1, thread group 2, like parallel run. Now once their parallel run is finished, then we'll see tear down will always happen in last. Tear down didn't happen in middle. Did you see? No. Neither tear down happened on first. And also understand that when this was running, these were waiting. So that is a proper sequence. So until unless this finishes, they will not start. And until unless this two finishes, this will not start. Right? So in that case, this is the huge case of this setup and tear down. Right? So generally, if you are making, just keep them in sequence. Actually, nothing will happen. Even setup is in down, but we know the execution precedency, right? Rule. This will always execute first. So executing first. This will always execute in last. So it executed last, and those two in middle. Right? But just to have an idea, if I keep it up, understanding this better. Mm. Like this. Chennai execution will be always like this. Mm. Um, uh, Next is so this is all about um, our tear down thread group, setup thread group, and normal thread. Normal means the main thread group is called. Now there is one more thread group which got introduced from JMeter 5.5, which even I do not know. It's called model open model thread group. So how it really works, even I do not have much idea. Actually, I have not also given since it got introduced 1 year back only. Even I have not spent time on looking what it does, how it works, right? So, but you can read about that. So, see how to take help for any JMeter element and function. So there are a few tips and tricks are there. One is like you can Google, you can read from different forums. Okay. Google blog. You can take help from uh, internal website. Sorry, external website. So how to take help from external website, right? So let us say that I want to know about open model thread group. So just going to JMeter website. Suppose this is JMeter website. How we will know, right, which element is where? Actually, they are there. Here, if you click on get started, all will come up one by one, but not at all because this website is not beautiful. Now I want to know about any element. Suppose I want to know about user defined variable. So just you have to right click and click on help. Right click on that element and click on help. So that page will open about user defined. Right. So like that you can read about anything. Suppose you went inside a function and you want to know about any function. Suppose this CSV read what it does. So click on help. So that particular page will come up. Okay. So this is a good thing. So same way, suppose that open model thread group, what it does, right? So right click and click on help. So they have written something. See, it's still in experimental phase. So it may change in future release. They have clearly written. So they have just introduced. I don't know much on this, what it does and how it is controlling the rate of the execution. How it does, we need. It is in still uh, need to be checked. Okay, so let it be. If you want, you can read it. Now, so this is how we will take the help using external website. Then one is internal also. Internal means the same website of JMeter is downloaded and loaded and kept in the JMeter directory. We know that. Hope you guys remember that, right? We have seen that it's printable docs. Inside that, what is the whole website is downloaded. Suppose you click on index.html, same thing is opening up. You see. So whole website is manually downloaded and kept inside that folder, right? Printable. So sometimes suppose your internet is not connecting or you are not connecting with your uh, mm, what should we say with the external website, so you can use this internal one. But to use this, there is a way to do, and for that you have to make a change in user.properties file. So first open JMeter.properties file and then open user.properties file. In JMeter.properties file, this is JMeter.properties. Try to search help. Control F. Help. So try to see help till help documentation. Yes. Try to search. Try help and keep on searching till this comes help document. This is the line. Okay. So it's a false actually. So what you have to do is you just copy this line and we have already changed some line in user.properties file, right? So like that, just paste it here and make it true and then restart the JMeter. So next time what will happen when you right click on any element and click on help, right? So instead of opening the external website, this is external website, it will pop up. It will pop up locally. Means what? It will load the content from that printable docs here. So actually it's same thing. Only thing when internet is not working that time, uh, out of sudden you want to read about that. But nowadays this is not happening. This used to happen very long back. Nowadays when they design actually this is very long back. Uh, Long back this thing used to happen. But after COVID many things has changed. This is not needed now. Actually what happened like when I have worked, uh, there are some projects okay where even phone is not allowed taking inside phone. Earlier used to have. Then you will be working on a client machine where dedicated VM machines where internet will not. Only whatever the client project related software there, only those things will work. Apart from that, nothing will. So that time for those kind of scenario, they have made that okay. Suppose that time you are working inside the client VM and you want to search something, then how you will search? So long back this used to happen. Nowadays things have not happened. But this thing used to exist long back. Very strict kind of environment will even many project phone will they will not allow inside. You have to keep phone outside like in locker and work. This plus 10 years back internet was also not there. So who will like data thing was there. Now data is free. But understand 10 years back the scenario. Uh, right. That time data were also paid 10 years back, 12 years. So no one used to use the data also. Why unnecessary anyone will use data? So even if you keep going your mobile, taking your mobile in now, you want to search something, how we will search? So we have come, okay, this is separate discussion. So we have come long way, right? Like before COVID, many things were working like different. In this 7 year, 10 year, this world has changed drastically. Even earlier programmer used to keep books on their desktop like in office. Now AI has come, so this thing was there. Okay, so basically they designed for that purpose. That is not needed everywhere internet is. Okay, so another is like suppose you want to read about any plugin, so you can visit plugin website and read about that. Next is Google, like external blogs means about anything you do Google, you can search and read. One important stuff is also there, which is not official, but you can send mail to this ID. But before that, we have to register, and there is a proper process. So right? So in that case, what we have to do? Hmm. On the same page, home page, here downside, if you just scroll down, your mailing lists will be there. So click on, then uh, then here I think we have to click on here. Hmm. When you click on here, then again one more page will come. Now here we have to first subscribe to their mailing list. So to do that, we have to send a mail uh, to this ID. Okay. So that once you will be added, right? Then you can start sending message to this ID. So any query in future, suppose you are stuck and you do not know, you can send a mail. Many people will be there who can reply. So it's like mailing list. If you want to see how it looks, so just click here, archive. It will take us from 2011. This list is kept. So you see here from 2000 till 2025, we have kept record. So in this month of November also, like 3 people have sent mail, some queries. I want to show only transaction controller in dashboard HTML report. This fellow has some other issue, unable to generate aggregate report in command line. Right? So people are facing something, and then they are sending mail. So actually, first of all, there is no one to reply. Understand? Like there is no one official. What will happen? Internal people. Okay, like many groups. Since so many people, like when you send the mail to their subscribe, right? So you will be also added. So like that, so many people will be there. So you send a mail or someone is sending mail, all will get notification, right? So they will anyone who have that time, he can reply with that with your queries. Suppose someone is having this query in October, uh, 4 mails were there, only once controller, one thread failure. There is some issue with plugin. He is having some issue like this, right? People used to write, and few people who will be there in that, they can reply back. So suppose this Vishnu, he said this, then some he replied with something. So this chain goes on like that. It happens. Next mail was with some different thing. Okay, so this is how uh, you can get help from the community. It's not a dedicated community, but kind of non-official community. Okay, fine. So coming back to our topics, so we were talking about open model thread. So that is done. Now, next important thread group are the two, which is stepping up ultimate thread group. Sorry, stepping up thread group not up, stepping. This is a step up. Okay, understand? Step up, and this is stepping thread. So these are plugins we get installed by plugin. So when we go to the plugin, yeah, plugin. Uh, these plugins come with a name called custom thread group, and in them 5 thread groups are there. Okay, you can check here, or you can check on plugin website as well. The stepping ultimate currency arrival freeform, but important are these two. If you want to read about them, just click on this link, or you can read, or directly go to plugin website and search about custom thread groups. You'll get about this. Right? So from there they comes. Okay. Now we'll first see about stepping thread group. So okay, before that, this one, yeah. Uh, shut down, yeah, run tear down thread groups after shutdown of main threads. So there will be question in your mind, right? That why they have given this when already tear down thread group has uh, working principle, or its working behavior, that it always executes in last, right? Still, why they have given that run tear down thread groups after shutdown of main threads? Like already we have just seen that when main thread got executed, then in last tear down got executed. We have just seen it's normal. Then a special why that setting is there? Why they have especially given this? Even if this is unchecked, still if I run this clear and run, I'll see that step up ran, then normal thread group, thread one, thread two, thread group one, thread group two will run. I've just given some gap to simulate this, and that's why it's happening. See, this is not proper actually. I've just made a direct jump. Nothing is there inside that. So now tear down. See, it anyhow it happens in last. It runs in last. Right? Then why especially this? Correct. So uh, actually, what happens that in this setup, okay, um, in this normal setup, understand when we are running, tear down has to always execute in last. But suppose you stop the test in middle by yourself, or accidentally stop test stops in the middle, something happens, then tear down will not run. Suppose setup is running, then I can stop here also, or let us normal thread group start. Okay, they started and I am stopping. So when I am stopping, they'll slowly stop. They got test, right? So slowly they got test. But do you see that tear down ran? No, right? Obviously, because we stop in test, so it sequence come in last. So this is why it will run, right? Normal. But when you put a check mark in this, run tear down thread group after shutdown of main thread, then what will happen? Even if you stop the test in middle, then also it will run. They will run. Okay. So see, means they will be forcefully executed. So I'm running, right? And once normal will start, I will stop. So let it start. They have started. I'll just click on stop. I'm stopping the test. But do you see still tear down execute? So forceful execution means even you run the test or you stop the test, anyhow it will run. Okay, so that is the dedicated setting given for this purpose. Now you can ask me like when we can utilize such thing. So you can utilize this thing in some scenarios when you have to compulsorily or forcefully you want to run that scenario. Right? That time uh, you can do. So these all run or not, that is not important. This will always run. Okay. So that time this will be helpful. So one example like uh, we made suppose we have made one command, right, to generate the HTML report. If you guys know, one stuff I made it additionally, which was not a compulsory thing to do, but just for information sake, I did that, and even the script will be with you guys. So we'll see that. Oh, it can. Like this one tear down thread group I have made, right, where I added this to sampler, and I have explained a little bit wrong, like that we can auto generate the HTML report. So if you are running from GUI and want to automate the HTML report generation, or so have the JTL, and from that you can generate the HTML report also, right? So this thing that time I have put a check mark here. Why? Because uh, whether test stops or finish or it ends in the middle, right? We should not worry about that. And for whatever run it has happened, it should always execute. So that kind of scenario, you can make forceful execution. So that time it will come handy. Okay. Now coming up, static thread. Sorry, stepping thread group. I get always uh, confused in pronunciation. This is a step up and this is a step down. So do not get confused. Now, what is this, right? Stepping. So it's a plugin and it can be used for static or constant user load scenario simulation. For example, 1,000 user load are constantly present on the system doing the transaction for a particular scenario. So what is new in this or what is special in this? Try to understand. See, in our normal thread group, if you see, uh, these all normal thread groups or whatever the thread groups we have, a step up thread group or tear down thread group or this normal thread group, all these thread group can only be used for static user load. Static. Static means fixed. Meaning of fixed is that you have already decided that okay, 1,000 user run we will run or 100 users run we will do. You will put that and you will run it. Simple. Okay, that is static or 1,000 or 2,000 or 500. So that is decided, right? That is decided, and that number you give there. Okay, and that's it. Now, once the test starts, after that you cannot do anything. Means you cannot add or increase the number of user, or you cannot decrease the number. That feature is not. So this is called a static user load scenario. Right. Now in a static user load scenario, here control is less. Generally, when we run a test or design a test, actually we need some controls. Okay, some more advanced controls. For an example, suppose you see here ramp up is there, but ramp down is not there. Ramp down is also important. Where how users are going up slowly, users after finishing the test, user also come down. Okay, so that one feature is not there. Then even like if you are running for duration, that time also controlling of the users or the rate of rate how user will be coming in the system, that all thing is not there. It's very simple in nature. That time this stepping thread group come in picture where we get a more detailed control. So when you add it, right, so like as usual, right click on test plan threads and after plugin install, you add. So this is how it looks. By default, you'll these are the input value. These will be pre-filled value. We can always delete it. It's not like that. We can always delete. But you see here more controls are there. You see compared to our normal thread. These controls, even in tear down also, same thing, same setting will be there. Like in setup, okay, same setting. Normal thread group, same setting. Tear down, same setting. Only difference is execution, their working behavior or working execution behavior. But the setting is same. But if you see here, stepping up, you see more detailed settings are there, which we can utilize to uh, load the users more systematically or in more friendly way. Right? So what these controls are that we'll try to understand. So by default, this value will be pre-filled. You can always delete, like start from here and delete all this. Right? Like and fill your data. So we'll see how it works and what we understand. And how it is different from normal thread group setting. So this is normal thread. You know that, right? And this is stepping up. So um, I have made a false request inside that just to run and show you. So whenever you add, as I said, this pre-filled data will be there, and we can delete those data. So I'll delete, and we'll freshly see. So what these settings are and what they are. So first thing is about total number of users. This is also a static one. This is also used for static and normal thread group also we have to give a static value. But what is the other difference is here more controls are not there. Very simple. Here we have more controls to control the users coming and running that scenario. Okay. So here first of all you will give the number of user. So it can be 1,000, 5,000, whatever. So first I'll explain with a bigger value. Suppose 2,000 users. The group means this scenario. Right? The group means this scenario. We'll start with how many fill in the blanks thread. Now thread means user, right? So when you read anywhere thread as a user, you'll understand more easily. Here also, everywhere try to read thread as a user. Right. So, so suppose first the whole test will start with 2,000 users. Okay, we have given. Next, this is wait for seconds. Now, what this wait is, this is delay. initial delay. Okay, this is called initial delay. Delay. Now, what is this initial delay? Understand? We had an initial delay here. You understand? A startup delay. And I have told you what this means. This means that this is not important. Plus, when we give this, what will happen when you click on a start button? So whatever the time we are given, this will wait for that time, right? It's like that. So same thing is here. Wait for is the initial delay or a startup delay. So you can keep it 0 also. It's not an important stuff. Okay, so 0. Save. So this is not important. Main thing starts from here. Now, uh, then start this many users. How many users, right? It means that initially with how many out of 2000 users, initially with how many user you want to start with. So suppose I want to start with 500 users, okay? Or 500 users I want to start. Okay. So first 500 users will come. Now using ramp up, we have to give for those 500 users. So you know ramp up, right? That we have ramp up here also. Suppose 500 users you want to ramp up in how many seconds. So that is ramp up, correct? So that is what we give that ramp up here for them, for those 500. Actually, that ramp up will be for all 2000. So those 500 users, suppose we want to ramp up in 50 seconds. It means that 10 users. So if as per this ratio, in 1 second, 10 users will be there. Or we can increase little bit. Suppose 100 seconds. 100 seconds means no 100 seconds become more. It's 5 views more. Okay, think like 50. Yeah, because we are not going to run for 2000. I'll reduce this first. We are trying to understand. Okay, so in 50 seconds, 500 users will be up. Right, you can keep it 10 seconds also. That is your wish. How you calculate. So you can see here also when you do a graph will be made. So in 50 seconds here, 43, 43, 44, 45 here. In 50 seconds, total 500 users are up, right? And they will start running. So in first 50 seconds, out of 1000 users, 500 users will be up. Means they will come in the system and they will start execution. But total number of users is 200. Sorry, 2000 only. Those 2000 only we are controlling in different, right? Now next, so this is done. Now next add this many user every this many second. Right. So next add this many users every this many seconds. Okay. So next I want to add 100 users every 10. So every minute, every 1 minute. So every 5 minutes also, every 10 minutes like that, whatever. So 10 minutes in second, 600, 600. Right. So you see now, and then this test we want to run for 1 hour. So hold for is total duration of test, like we have here, right? Here, total duration. So hold for is suppose 1 hour, which is 3600. So now you see the graph. First, in 50 seconds, Total 2000 users are there. But in first 50 seconds, when we click on a start button, so in first 50 seconds, 500 users will be up and they will come in the system and they will start running. Next. Uh, Next, what will happen? Next, every 10 minutes. Do you see? This means 10 minutes. So you can see a gap, proper gap. You see here. Or this line is a gap, right? 10 minutes gap is there. Okay. So after 10 minutes, 100 users will be added. So this adding will happen like 1500 gone out of 2000. So 1500, sorry, 500 gone out of 2000. So 1500. Now 100 we are adding every 10 minutes. So, or I'll make it like 1500, 200. We will, so that field in put 200, right? So 200. So every 10 minutes, you see 200 users. Then again 10 minutes, you see 200 users. Then again 10 minutes, 200 users. Then 10 minutes, 200 users. 10 minutes, 200 users. 10 minutes, 200. Then again 10 minutes, 200 users. Again 10 minutes. Here 100 user only because this is even an odd thing is there. So out of 2000, 500 gone, so 1500 left. Now those 15 we are bringing in the system in some rate, like controlling the rate. So 200 every 10 minutes it will be reducing. So we will be having eight steps. So 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 5 step, 6 step, 7 step, 8 steps are there. So you see there is a proper control, right? Proper ramp up. Now this is just an example. Now you want further controls, you can play with this setting. Now once all 1000 here, all 2000 has came. You see here. Now once all those 2000 will come, then this test will run for 1 hour, proper 1 hour. So you can see from the time here, from here to here, it's proper 1 hour. Do you see? Proper 1 hour. Now, after that 1 hour is completed, this is total duration. Once that is complete, then how we want to stop the user? So this setting is ramp down. This is called ramp down. Means stopping the users and removing from the system in steps. Right? So suppose I want to stop. So I want to stop 300 users. Suppose 200 users for 600 seconds or whatever 600. It is more 200. 200 in every 1 minute. 200 in every 1 minute is what 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Like that, whatever. This is ramp down. So whatever you decide, you can do every 2 minutes. So after proper 1 hour of execution, you can see every two minutes, 200 user is exiting from the system. So we have down staircase also. So that's why it's called ramp down, right? Down. This is down staircase. This is up a staircase, right? Okay. So this is what correct. So this is about stepping thread group. Now, what is the difference? The difference is we have more control of influxing the user. Influxing means putting up the users right in the system, and then we have more control on degrading the users or downgrading the user number also, which is this is called ramp up. This is called ramp down. We have more control. We can do in more efficient way. But when we compare it with a normal thread group, that setting is not there. It's totally blank, right? It's very simple and it's plain. Correct. But this has one disadvantage. And one, what is that disadvantage? Here, you have to only use when you want to run a duration-based test. This cannot be used in loop-based test. Loop means 5 loop. You want to do 2 loops. You want to do not possible from here because that setting for doing the loop is not given. It will directly all is in seconds. So it's total duration. So when you are running a 5 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever duration based test, then this comes. It will be loop based test. It will not work. But in our normal thread group, we can have a loop also. Right? We can give loop and can give loop. So that one drawback is there. Another drawback. Okay, so that is one drawback you can say. But when we run for a duration based, then here we have a more controlled way of putting the users or ramping up the user. Here it's very simple. Right? Suppose you are running for 2000 users. So you put the 2000 user and how you want to ramp up, suppose 50 in 50 second or 50 user per second, whatever you decide, you give the ratio. But we have a more control here. Right? That 2000 also we can segregate in more precise way if that kind of requirement is correct. And even exiting the users is called ramp down. That is the thing. Then what I said that here loop count or running a loop based test is there in this it's not. Now one more difference, which is not actually drawback but difference is the thing. The ramp up time that you give here that is included in duration time. Okay. Whatever duration, suppose you are running for 2000 users, you have given a ramp up of suppose 5 minutes, ramp up of 5 minutes, which is 600 seconds. Right? Suppose I'm saying in 5 minutes, all 2000 users will be up. Right? And after that, we'll be running this test for 3600. For an example, I'm saying. No, this one, not this one. Yeah. So this is 3600. Now, what will happen when you start the test? So in this total duration is 3600. So from this only, this will be deducted. Okay. From this duration only, this ramp up time will be deducted. But here it's not like that. Here proper one duration will happen when all the users are up. This time is extra time. Understand? So in this case, what happened? They also, this is called steady state, pure steady state. Means when all users are there and they are running. So here we get a pure steady state of 1 hour. But here will not be getting a pure steady state of 1 hour. Not possible because suppose you have given 600. So that time will be deducted from. So either you have to increase this. Suppose this is ramp up is 5 minutes. So you have to make this 1 hour and 5 minutes like this. Suppose you are running a 5 minute test. So the ramp up extra time you have to add in. Then only you will get a pure 1 hour steady state, right? So that thing you have to understand a little bit. Sometime when we run a test, people ask, we just need a result for steady states. How to get? We do not want the result of this or this, or same way here also. We do not want. Suppose ramp up is high. No? In that case, means ramp up time is more. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes you are taking for users to ramp up only. So that 10 minutes generally is excluded in some test depending on a requirement. Okay. So how we will do that? So there is a plugin for that. That plugin name is merge result. It's a listener. Merge result is not this one. The plugin name is synthesis report. Synthesis report. synthesis report. It is used to get the result from JTL file between a time frame or for a steady state. So how you will do that? Like that JTL which will be storing the result, right? You have to put that in synthesis report plugin, and you have to remove the time. You have to give the time, like when the test has started. That thing you have to like take down or take a note of that, like when the test has started, right? So and then for let's say for next 10 minutes only ramp up happens. So the start of test will be 00, and next 10 minutes that time you will give, and that you have to deduct. So it will reduce that, right? And uh, then it will generate another JTL output. So that will JTL will be having this 10 minutes result will not be there. So this is how you can have that, right? So this is also asked in interview. Sometime if requirement comes like that, then that plugin you can use. But that is only done when ramp up time is very high. Actually, it happens when we have more usual load test, 10,000 you are running 20,000. So that time we can give ramp up time till 5 minutes, 10 minutes also. Now in that time also it's not always necessary that you have should have a report of only steady state, but we should have an idea in our mind that synthesis report can do. Suppose if someone asks to do that, or in interview someone asks, so you should know that, right? What is called a steady state, and so this is called a steady state. And someone asks how you will suppose I need only time for steady state. I do not result for only steady state. I do not want the result for this ramp up time or uh, ramp up time or ramp down time. Here we have only ramp up. Yeah. So we want to remove them. How we will do that? So using that plugin we can do. So this thing should have idea. Right. So uh, so that is the difference. Remember here in normal thread group, the ramp up time is included in total duration time. But here, whatever this ramp up time is there, this whole, that is not included in this. This is pure steady state. Okay. So that difference is there. And one more thing, what I told that here we cannot run loop based test, but here we can run loop based test. Here we have loop stuff is there. Here that is not there. And this when it can be used when there is much requirement of controlling the users. Means in ramping up the users, you need much control. That time you can use it. Otherwise, no such benefit is there. Okay, just here direct. Suppose you are giving total number of user and their ramp up, but here we are controlling initial 5,000. Okay, you have given or initial suppose out of 2,000 initial 1,000. Okay, you started. Then you are how you want to bring other rest. So that whole full-fledged control is there. So for that purpose. And yeah, and remember about the steady states thing, right? Steady state. Now next we have ultimate thread group. So ultimate thread group is more important. We'll understand about this tomorrow. But on a brief, what it does is that because it takes time and it is easy to understand when you have understood the normal thread group or the stepping thread group that we just discussed. When this can be used. So this can be used in three type of load simulation. First type is static or constant load, which is very simple and straightforward, which we can do from normal thread group or we can do from a stepping thread group also. Same we can do from ultimate thread group. Now ultimate thread group is also used for two extra scenarios, which is not possible by this or this. So that is second type of load simulation. Total three types of load simulation are. So second type, that is non-static or varying. Right. So uh, means what is the meaning of non-static? non-static or varying user load scenario. So it means that, like, suppose initially 500 users started. Those 500 ran for 30 minutes for an example. Then they went or they exited, you can say. And then first 500. Then let us say 7,000 came. No, 1,000 came. 7,000 will be more. 7,000 will be much more. 1,000 came. 1,000 user added up. Right? They ran for suppose 30 minutes or 40 minutes. All you can control. Right? Suppose they ran for 40 minutes. Then they exit. Then 700 came. And then they ran for suppose only 20 minutes. It all depends on your requirement for how much you want to run. I'm just saying. So you see, it's varying, right? Varying plus time duration also you can vary, correct? So that how we will achieve, right? So for that is varying load scenario, non-static. That is second type, and one is third type. Third type is that feature is only available in paid tools, generally Loader or nowadays I think. It's, but it means that adding the user in the middle of test. And so already a test is going on. Suppose you initially started with 1,000 users, and suppose you are running for 2 hours. Now after 1 hour, you want to add 1,500 more users. So this is not possible in this kind of tools called JMeter or other tools. Only few commercial tools has this feature of adding the users in the middle of the test when test is already started. Right? Like Loader has this feature, and I think new load will be also. So this feature is not available in JMeter. But we have a workaround. We can do a workaround to overcome a limitation. So that time we can use this ultimate thread group also. But here I've clearly written that here also in ultimate thread group also you cannot add in middle. You have to do the calculation before starting the test. Because always remember that in JMeter, once test has started, you cannot do anything. You cannot add anything. You cannot delete anything. Once test has started. Anything, not about users, anything. Whenever test will start, right? So before starting of test, only JMeter will take everything. Like he will read the CSV data. He will load everything in the memory before once you hit. So everything. So you'll see when you hit, then it waits for 1 second or something because it loads all the thing, all component in the memory, even the number of user, and then it starts running. And that is the reason about CSV I've told. If CSV file it is not finding, it will immediately throw error. Correct. So this kind of thing, even this whole thing comes under the execution precedency, right? So everything, like once test has started, that time you cannot do anything. You do change also, na? Suppose you are running this for 10 users. You start the test. Test will run for 10 users. When test is running, you can do change 20. Nothing will happen, right? So like it will not change till test finishes. So that is there. So in that case, we can take a workaround of adding the users. Suppose you want to add the users in middle. So using ultimate thread group, we can do. But one thing is important, that the calculation we have to do before I start the test also here. We cannot do in middle. But in this paid tools, we can do in the middle also, right? When test is going. The second and third type scenario are also known as scalability test, when we increase the load in the middle or after some time, right? So they are also part of scalability testing, or they are also called as known as scalability testing. So how we will achieve this all three kind of scenarios, that we will see tomorrow. But these are what three types of load simulation. Whatever we do using a step up, tear down, or a stepping, these are static. You are giving a fixed amount, and that is only running. Only thing what you are doing is you are controlling. Suppose in stepping up also you have given fixed. You are just controlling the ramp up, right? But this you are not. This is fixed, and this is not varying. Here also in our normal thread group also, which should be fixed. In ultimate, we can change little bit. We can do all three. Like we can give fix, we can vary. Like as I said that second scenario, 500 suppose for 30 minutes, 1000 then for 40 minutes, then another suppose 700 for 20 minutes. All this thing you can do. And another one, the last one, third one, like suppose you are running a 2 hours test, then for 1 hour you run 1000. After 1 hour you want to add 1500 more. So how to do that, right? So means initially 1 hour 1000 and duration is 2 hours. Then after 1 hour 1500. So for rest 1 hour, how many users will be run? 1015. 25 users will be run, right? For next 1 hour. So how to do that, right? So this all thing. Okay, so we will discuss this tomorrow, because if discussing this now will take at least 20 minutes minimum, or it can take half an hour. So better to discuss this out. So we will discuss this tomorrow. Then we will talk about controllers. Yeah. So thank you for attending. We'll meet tomorrow. Have a great day. Good night.